I saw you going 15 miles an hour.
Sir.
Okay, that's not legal. You can't drive that slow under the speed limit.
I work here.
Okay, fantastic. Good for you. I need your driver's license.
For what?
Okay. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Unlock the car and get out now.
Hey, calm down.
Get out of the car now.
Calm down. I am getting out.
It's absolutely outrageous the way this police officer treats this guy who has a traumatic brain injury.
My husband has a traumatic brain injury, so his ability to process information and respond effectively is impaired.
This cop is a real stickler for the rules. I mean, the law is the law, right?
The brain injury, that sucks. I'm very sorry for you and your family. He cannot touch me. He cannot refuse orders that I give to him.
Except when it comes to himself. This is the same cop in custody in the county he works in after being arrested unconscious behind the wheel.
Sheriff's office.
The footage is extremely damning. When I went to look up the resolution of that case, guess what? The record is confidential. Here's a prime example of politicians and prosecutors and law enforcement leadership protecting a bad apple and endangering the public.
You armed?
No.
Did you think you were? Like, is there a firearm missing?
And now it's time for everybody to know the truth. Let's begin. As both a content creator and a lawyer, I can assure you that your private data is being collected and traded online by shady data brokers, who then create shadow profiles on you that include a frightening amount of personal details. Your private info is then used without your knowledge or consent by insurance companies, businesses, banks, and even the government. That's why I use a product called Incogni that not only tracks down these data brokers that have your information, but they have that data completely removed. Even for me, it would take hundreds of hours of my time to do this myself. Incogni just does it for me, continuously working in the background. As of today, Incogni has located my private data with 586 different data brokers, and they have now had that data deleted with 547 of those data brokers, with 39 others still in progress. And now they offer an extra level of protection with Incogni's custom removals feature in the Unlimited plan and Family Unlimited plan, where you can find any website that has your personal information that is publicly visible. They will just have it removed, custom for you. So check out Incogni using the link below, or go to incogni.com/civil to get an exclusive 60% off. That's incogni.com/civil and use code CIVIL, or click the link below to take your personal data off the market. Now let's get back to the video. This police officer in Monroe County, Florida, pulled over this guy trailering a boat for driving too slow. Over a minor traffic violation, he begins issuing him orders and then yanks him out of his truck when he doesn't comply quickly enough.
Hello, hi, I'm Deputy Lane with the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, how can I help?
So we got called to Sunshine Key about you, and then on the way up there, I saw you going 15 miles an hour.
Sir.
And
My hazards on, correct?
okay, that's not legal. You can't do that.
Can do what?
You can't drive that slow under the speed limit.
It's a safety hazard.
It's a safety hazard for you to be on the road driving that slow under the speed limit, correct? Do you have your driver's license on?
Sir, I need to get to this lane. Can we get it off of this? I work here.
Okay, fantastic. Good for you. I need your driver's license.
For what?
Okay. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Unlock the car and get out now.
Hey, calm down.
Get out of the car now.
Calm down. I am getting out.
You want to stop? Hey, you want to stop and grab me?
Getting out. Oh, my truck. My truck.
Put the fucking truck in the park.
Yes, I am.
Put it in the park now. Put it in the park now.
You do it.
Put it in the park now.
It is in park. I am
Left
getting
23
out.
code 4, 1 resisting.
I am not
Put it in the park. Get out of the fucking car. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back now. Put your hands behind your. Put your hands behind. Stop pulling away from me.
Please understand.
Left 23 code 5, 1 to 10.
Can this other one please adjust the other way? Norris cannot spin in it.
Do you have anything on you that's going to stick me, poke me, hurt me?
One pocket knife.
Your pocket knife? I'm good for now. If you can talk to her inside of the car.
Why
I'm not sure.
Why is she being rude too?
Because I'm a law enforcement officer and so is she,
And
and
I'm
I
a
have you in
fire.
handcuffs right now.
Okay, but no need to be rude, is there?
I got FWC with me as well. So in the state of Florida, when you're told to identify yourself on a traffic stop by law enforcement,
I did.
saying no when I say give me your driver's license is not complying.
I did not say no.
Okay.
Do you have this on recording, please?
Yes, it is on recording.
thank you.
Just like when I told you to step out of the car and you said no, I tried to open your door, you grabbed my hand and pushed me away. That's battery on law enforcement. That's
that
a felony.
is not exactly what I was doing.
You grabbed my hand, that's felony.
Oh my God, I was trying to put...
After he throws them in the back of the police cruiser, he then goes and talks to the man's wife, who explains to him that her husband had been in a motorcycle wreck and suffered a traumatic brain injury, and as a result, his cognitive functioning abilities are impaired.
Hello, is there anyone else inside the car or just you?
My children and his service dog.
Okay.
My husband has a traumatic brain injury, so his ability to process information and respond effectively is impaired. I was going to try to see, I think his wallet is here in the boat. I was going to grab it. He has a brain injury card. I am his legal caregiver in addition to being his spouse. We are volunteering here at the park, and it just became stressful because it was...
What's your name?
I'm Katie Bates.
Katie.
or Catherine
So
Bates.
the problem though is that when I tell someone to give me their ID and they say no, that's refusal to identify.
Did he say no?
He said no.
He did have the legal obligation to provide his driver's license to the police officer during the stop. But the big question here is whether or not he refused to do so.
The problem though is that when I tell someone to give me their ID and they say no, that's refusal to identify.
Did he say no?
He said no.
When we look back at the footage, does it show that the driver refused to provide his ID?
I work here.
Okay, fantastic. Good
Can
for
you
you.
get it
I
up?
need your driver's license.
For what?
Okay,
This is...
get out of the car. Get out of the car. Unlock the car and get out.
No, I don't think that it does.
I thought he was grabbing.
No, he was not. And then when I tell him to open the door and he says no, that's again refusing an order from... Hold on, I'm talking. That's refusal to identify himself and refusal to exit the vehicle, which is an order from law enforcement officer.
Right.
And does the footage show that the driver refused to get out of the vehicle?
Now,
Calm down.
get out of the car now.
Calm down. I am getting out.
No, I don't think that does either.
Furthermore, when I reach inside the car to unlock the door and he grabs my hand, that's felony battery on law enforcement. Fourth, when I do finally get the car door open and he pushes me away, that's battery on law enforcement. He cannot touch me. Okay? The brain injury, that sucks. I'm very sorry for you and your family. He cannot touch me. He cannot refuse orders that I give to him. This is a legal, lawful traffic stop. He's impeding the flow of traffic going 10 miles an hour on US 1. You cannot do that. He is correct. It is a safety hazard to do that. That's why I pulled him over. He can't do that. Okay?
I apologize. Like I said, his response and his ability to know what to say in stressful moments is impaired because of the brain injury. He literally has missing pieces of his brain.
Okay. So how old are the kids in the car?
7 and 4.
Okay. Can you go back in the car and make sure they're okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you
Would
doing back here?
I was going to see if his wallet is in here.
Yeah, if
Would you
it...
like me to grab his
Yes,
wallet?
please, if you could. Thank you. All right, I'm going to open the door for a second to talk to you, but I don't want you to try to get out or do anything, okay? Is that your wife?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, look, I was not trying to be combative. I have a slow thinking.
She
and
explained that to me, okay?
all of a sudden, I realized I'm not in park, and I wasn't trying to resist you. I was trying to let you, but yet, and then when we finally got out, I promise you, I was not trying to resist. Like,
I understand why you got back in the truck. That was probably for the best since you have kids in the car.
thank
Okay.
you. I'm very sorry. I know I've worked in the fire my whole life, and I know exactly what y'all go through at that moment. I know exactly.
Okay.
When you see me trying to jump back in,
the main problem...
I want to thank you the highest for not pulling that trigger when I jumped back in. I know when the adrenaline starts pumping, oh my gosh,
Copy.
yes. My
Okay.
adrenaline was pumping too.
So the main problem that I have, though, is you grab my hand and you push my arms away. You cannot do that to
I
police.
didn't mean to push you away. I was trying to assure you that, here, you have my hand, but let me reach with the other hand and... But I can't think of how to say it. My adrenaline was pumping, and I'm just like, Here's one, but let me.
Okay.
I swear to you, I've worked. I want to join y'all so bad. I swear to you, on God's hand, I put God all over my life ever since my accident. I swear to you, I was not trying to resist. I put my life in God's hand on that swear.
Okay.
I assure you, if there's any way I could prove that to you, I guarantee you I would.
Okay. All right, Nolan. I'm going to close the door real quick. Give me
Yes.
just 1 second. I'll come talk to you again. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Katie.
Katie. So, unfortunately, I do have to take him to jail because he grabbed me. Okay? I could look past the initial refusal to give me his ID at first, and I didn't give him 20 chances to do it, but if I tell someone to give me their ID and they say no, or what for, I understand what you're saying. He was reaching for the glove box. I don't know that that's what he's looking for. If he's telling me no, or what do you need my ID for, to me that's a no. I'm not giving it to you. Okay? The problem though is that when I tried to get him out of the car, he grabbed my hand, he pushed my hands away from him, and then I'm trying to put him in handcuffs and he's pulling and turning away from me. Because of that, I have to take him to jail.
Is there any way you could
I have to take him to jail.
Is there any way you could have the mercy in you to view it like someone with autism? You know that an autistic person would do something similar when someone's grabbing them. It's like an instinctive response because their mental.
If his mental
ability
capacity is
not
so
firing.
diminished that he doesn't know not to put his hands on a police officer, he should not have a driver's license. Okay? So either he is more mentally incapacitated than the state of whatever state his driver's license is out of knows, or he's more intelligent than you're leading me to believe. Because either way, he's driving a car, so he's got to have at least like an 80 IQ to be able to drive a car. So if he's got that,
I'm not sure what
he should probably know not to grab a police officer.
A situation where an officer's trying to grab him out of the car, so it's a different thing to be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, view it like a person with autism, like their initial response is to be like, someone's grabbing me, oh my God, let go. So if there's any chance you could please have
I just talked to my sergeant. My
family.
sergeant said to take him to jail because he touched me.
And listen, at the same time, I understand your perspective, but you also have to understand his perspective. But also with this instance, if he goes to jail, you also have the ability to go to court and argue that side of it. I understand that, ma'am. But we still have to do our job. The incident occurred.
Catherine, here's your ID. Look, I understand. I have to take him to jail, okay, Catherine? That ship has sailed. I have to take him. I understand. This is hard. I don't want to take someone to jail with a mental disability. But at the same time, if he's driving a car and I pull him over for a traffic violation, going 10 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone is a traffic violation. He can't do that. That's why I pulled him over. When I tell the driver of a vehicle on a traffic stop to give me his driver's license, he has to give it to me. If I tell him to step out of the
Please, we can't. Please.
If I tell someone to step out of the vehicle under Pennsylvania versus MIMS, they have to step out of the vehicle. If they refuse, that is obstruction.
I understand all of that, and I understand from your perspective, you have to protect yourself to get home to your own family and all of that. Trust me, I wish he didn't have a brain injury. I wish he didn't have those moments where he doesn't.
And I'm very
react
sorry that your family has to deal with that, Catherine.
But please, because this is something that's like, you're basically putting me in jail too.
I'm not putting you in jail. You're still here. You can take the car and the boat, go back to your campsite. You can get him out tomorrow. We'll have first. You can. Look, there's ways in the court. If he's actually got a brain injury, you could. I wouldn't have even given him a ticket. I was just gonna tell him that he was driving slow and he can't drive that slow on US 1.
Right.
And all I needed was his driver's license.
Is there any way you can modify the report to where he was falling out of the vehicle and he grabbed you to brace himself, not grabbing you?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna perjure myself for someone I don't know. I'm gonna watch my body camera and the in-car camera, and I'm gonna go word for word and action for action when I write the report. I will document in there how you're telling me that is a brain injury. What was that caused by?
A motorcycle accident. We were heading to dinner one night in a vehicle from another direction, took a left-hand turn in front of us. He actually wasn't supposed to even live, and then they weren't sure if he was going to be paralyzed or what sort of function he was going to have. And he's made amazing progress, but there's still, there's deficits. Just like if you lost a limb. There's things that are difficult. He lost a chunk of his brain. So
Okay.
A bunch of people sent me this footage. The footage was actually sourced by Arrest Cam Fish and Wildlife, so check out their channel where you can see more of the footage that I cut. I'll link that video below. If anybody knows this guy, I would love to hear more information about the criminal charges, which apparently are unavailable currently. They're sealed in some way. But as I understand it, they ended up charging him with multiple misdemeanors and at least one felony for allegedly assaulting this police officer, who, as we heard, gave this family quite the lecture about following the law. But talk is cheap, isn't it? As it turns out, this cop has quite the history, with multiple viral videos and his own arrest video, which does need to go viral. I was going to try to squeeze it into this video, but there is so much there. And the more I look into it, the dirtier this whole situation has become. Because this cop got arrested before this encounter with this brain-injured man. He should not have had a driver's license to be able to pull this guy over and lecture him. The more I look into it, the more a major cover-up unravels. A cover-up that everyone needs to see, and I need a little bit more time to go through it. Tomorrow, I will upload the arrest video featuring this police officer where he was found at a gas station in the driver's seat of his car, completely unresponsive. And you can see how he lies to his colleagues, and when he's taken to the station, he refuses to have his breath tested. That is supposed to come with consequences, right? How is it that that criminal violation ends up completely covered up, confidential, and this cop is right back on the road with a badge and a gun? You're not going to want to miss part 2. So subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. If you have any information in the meantime, please let me know as soon as you can. You can reach out on X at JohnBryanESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it. I'll see you tomorrow.